Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Good morning.
I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky. 'Tis the season you focus on.
Yeah, that's
La
right.
la 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 la. 'Tis the season you focus on.
That's right. We get what we're looking for.
Oh my gosh, we left the neighborhood last night, and I literally was befuddled. Is that even a word?
Look at the Griswolds.
I don't even know what was inside me, but I had this moment where I just thought our neighborhood looked so cheesy.
Well,
There's like 4 houses, and if they're listening, good. Thank you for listening.
Well, there's some houses that look like they picked up a bulb or a strand of bulbs from each convenience store they stopped at on the way back from Alaska.
They've collected lights over the last 5 decades, and then they have these blow-up things. They're like blow-up globes. They're blow-up snow globes. And then
Because you can do that in Florida. It doesn't get cold enough to deflate them.
That's the other thing. Okay, so then during the day, they look so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They look like styrofoam that is stuffed and glued in between this plastic that is just laid out on the lawn. Am I correct?
It looks like someone has left a party scene uncleaned up.
It does. It looks like someone toilet papered their lawn and they're just like, yeah, happy Christmas or happy birthday, Jesus.
And they are just being super festive. So so we're having one reaction and they're having a totally different reaction.
And I also want to add these icicle lights in Florida throw me off. They throw me off when they have palm trees and then they have icicles that hang down from the palm trees. It feels, and they're not like nice, classy icicles. They are like strings of lights, and then they kind of say, use your imagination. Pretend these are icicles. But they're really just strings of light that kind of look like, I don't know, a cheap mistletoe that you get at the dollar store.
Suspend your imagination. Pretend there's going to be a fat man coming down a chimney delivering presents.
And why did I have such a reaction? I'm like, we live in such a nice neighborhood. It's a gated community.
So
we live on the water. And then we have these cheesy.
So in your mind, you picture what you want to see, and you picture a very manicured, single light,
I want it Disney-like.
like a white row of lights.
Yes.
That's not the multicolor light from the 80s.
Yes.
And
I don't even care if it's multicolored lights. I actually embrace that as well. I just don't like the, and then let me just throw this in
the bright
here.
glowing LEDs.
No. We have this one house that they've decided to
tune into 97.1.
sync their house lights to the radio. So then they put up these big signs in the yard that say, sit here in the middle of the road for 45 minutes and tune your radio to this
All the Christmas
particular station, and you'll see how we have meticulously put every single strand of light so that it pops with all of the drums and the violins of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
This is Scrooge.
I do sound like Scrooge, but I'm like, first of all, nobody should be sitting in the middle of the road. And now we've got signs up all throughout the neighborhood that say, oh, make sure you go by so-and-so's house because they are syncopated.
Make sure you stop by 666 Elm Street.
To radio 10 blah, blah, blah. And so then it's like an advertisement for the radio, and it just feels...
I feel like that would be like there are neighborhoods that are made for that, where the whole neighborhood gets involved.
Yes.
And that's a fun neighborhood to go visit.
when every house is like
Yeah.
that.
When it's
But when it's just one house,
when it's a one-story house and it's just like that's a two-story house, but it's like it's one house that's the only house on the street decorated, and everyone stops there in the middle of the street.
and then I don't know when this started. Oh, listen to me. Like, seriously, there's something inside me that is like, this has gone
Scrooge
way too
McDuck.
far. And it starts all the way in, what's the month before October?
September.
Because it starts, people have started now doing this in October for Halloween with the green and purple and orange.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this has gone way too far. Like, this is really cheesing out.
Lights all year. I say we have like pink and white lights for Valentine's Day, and then we have some green lights for St. Patrick's Day.
But what I'm going to say is they've started putting projector screens on their house.
Let it snow.
But sometimes it's not even let it snow.
Let the ghost fly across the house.
Sometimes it's like little reindeers, but it's not just one reindeer. It's like 1,000 reindeers, and they go in circles.
It's
and you
shooting
sit there
reindeer.
and go, huh. I'm not sure why,
It's like the old snow globe that would rotate in your bedroom at night with the stars going around the room or whatever.
Or sometimes it's like the misfit toys it's the abominable snowman that's on your garage door.
Abominable.
And I'm thinking, wow. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Bah humbug.
It just feels like we've come a long way from the manger.
So the beauty of this
that's really it. We've come a long way from what the holiday is really about.
Gold, frankincense, and myrrh again. The manger.
I mean, I never thought that I would be that person, but seriously.
Well, and the beauty of this is it is the same holiday. And we all are experiencing it a little bit different. Some people are frustrated. Some people are anxious. Some people are excited. Some people are energized. There are people that are like, they look forward to this part of the year all year long.
Oh, I know.
Some people dread this part of the year all year long. And then how are we experiencing this part of the year? So a lot of it is, what are we focused on? What are we telling ourselves about this time of year? What expectations are we setting for ourselves and setting for the time of year?
I have let go of a lot of expectations.
Yeah.
We don't even do Christmas cards anymore. You're right. I've kind of become a fuddy-duddy. I still get into the Christmas pajamas. I still do that little tradition. But other than that, like, I've kind of, maybe I need to stop and really evaluate.
Start setting some little tiny surprises and little fun expectations.
Like a little elf on the shelf or a mensch on the bench.
Maybe we'll start with the mensch on the bench, build up.
No, and now you can have reindeer paws go through your, have you seen that where you actually put like baby powder down on the floor and you then put
I know you love
reindeer
cleaning.
prints?
Maybe I'll do that. I know you love cleaning.
I'm like, what are
You're
we
always
doing?
cleaning.
And it's all to, I guess, for the magic of it. Wow, who would have thought that I would be so unmagical?
Oh, you're magical.
I am magical, so why is this bothering me?
We all have these things in different areas of our lives.
Because it feels like every year they're taking it to another level.
Well, the purpose in life is to grow, and a lot of people feel like they're not growing in multiple areas of their life. So they pick an area and they say, that's the area that I'm going to grow. That's the area that I feel like I can control.
But then they try to outdo themselves every year.
Of course.
And it becomes this frenzy,
internal
or
and
chaos.
external competition.
And then they wonder, why do I get sick every year at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that whenever I'm around family, I start getting a sore throat and I start getting the flu, and someone always gets sick when we're together? Well, it's because the stress of just this whole
the competition
season.
Yeah.
the holiday. We're bringing it on ourselves. We don't even realize it.
It's dis-ease.
It is. It's like, wow, let's just all decompress a little bit and realize we are bringing on all of this.
I say that
it's an illusion.
We build this prison for ourselves, like this. We start setting these little mental expectations, this mental prison for ourselves, and we build it, and then we hold the bars up. It's like that meme where the person's holding the bars up, and the picture's really close, and you back up, and they're just holding the bars themselves.
Right.
And that's kind of where we are with a lot of things in life. But in the holidays, it's like, oh, I'm good. I've got to see all my family. Dad's going to be this way. Mom's going to be this way. The cousins are going to irritate me. The nephews and nieces, whatever. And so we build up our anxiety. We build up all these what ifs instead of just kind of going in with this expectation of things are going to be wonderful and I'm going to bring the best energy that I can.
I think that's really what it comes down to. We build up expectations, not only for ourselves, but for the people around us. And then when those expectations are not met, or if we don't meet them ourselves, we become disappointed.
Yep. And also, we're around people that we're not around that often. Mm-hmm. So we don't, I think a lot of times we don't exercise our boundaries as firmly as we normally would.
Because we don't want to hurt feelings. We know that happens. I struggle with this so immensely because I find that I do need to speak up a little bit more clearly. However, when I do, it sometimes can come across, I don't know if it's my tone or if it's like people
unwelcoming.
Aren't used to me speaking up. Like I always try to consider how other people are feeling. Like that's just always been my ammo. I always want other people to feel. In fact, I put other people's feelings before my own many times. And that's been my problem, is because when something bothers me, I many times consider how the other person is feeling before I consider myself. And in fact, when I do consider my own feelings, I think, well, I can handle this. I can take the high road. I realize what's happening here, so I'll just, be the bigger person.
I'll let them have it.
I'll just be the bigger person and walk away. Well, over the years, that has really started to bother my soul to the point where it has now started to emerge in areas of my body. Like I realize now when I'm around my family, my shoulders start hurting. My back really starts getting tense, and it's because I'm not speaking up for myself. However, when I do try to speak up for myself, then it feels like other people start taking it very personally. Like, wait a minute, Jana has never talked like that before. Why is she talking like that? Why are you attacking me?
Yeah, this never bothered you before. And that's one of the things is like, you've never exercised your boundaries before. Why would you exercise them now?
Yes.
So and that's one of those things, and your body starts recognizing, hey, this is that season where I don't get to recognize my boundaries. So my body starts getting tense. Your subconscious starts tensing up your body, saying, "Here, hey, start preparing yourself for this."
Yes.
And then, so your mind is going, "Why am I so tense right now?" Why, and then you start answering that question.
Okay, so let's bring this back to the lights in the neighborhood. I mean, there was something that really bothered me.
And it probably all stems back to the not standing up for your boundaries.
Okay, so I pay an HOA. I pay into this neighborhood. Should I say something? Because that sounds a little fuddy-duddy for me to say, you know what? You're putting restrictions on when I can put up lights. They actually sent me a letter saying
Put your lights up too soon.
Put your lights up a week too early. And they give us restrictions on when our lights have to be down. So why don't I write a letter and say, I feel like there should be restrictions on what kind of lights
so that
can be hung
so that may have
outside your
put
house.
a mental note in you that says, look out for how people are doing their lights.
Maybe.
And it could all be back to the boundary thing. And so your mind's going, well, what is causing me stress? And you start looking for the things that cause me stress and saying, well, that might be one of them.
And then I think, well, you know what? It's an exterior circumstance. And really, I can't always control my exterior, but I can't control the way I react.
Yeah, just
So
change our state.
If it's bothering me, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change.
Ooh, powerful.
Wayne Dyer. Ah! This whole
Spin positive.
self-development thing can be complex at times.
But helpful and fun.
And oh, so beautiful. Thank you for joining us. I hope that you got a little bit of ease.
Just one of our experiences.
Yes, this is what Jana and Jason are going through right now. And usually
it's always a little work.
We're just airing it out for you too, so that you can get a little window into what's real. All right. Thank you again. I hope everyone is living lucky, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
It's the season.
If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.